Okay, so we have some exciting things. It feels exciting because it feels like summer is right around the corner, don't you think? Like we're getting close.
It's so warm
Never
outside,
thought
to be
that
honest.
at
It's
this
getting-
time of
no,
This
year.
last week has been
It's
so
been warm. I taught all day, windows open. It felt so good.
yeah.
It was
Same
so
at work,
incredible.
Super warm.
It's feeling like summer's coming, okay? I just fully believe that in my heart, and I need to believe that. That's the only way I'll survive. I'm going to just be 100% honest with you. I need to believe summer's on its way.
It's like Christ-like
Um,
attribute,
That's
hope.
really sad.
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
And one of the things I'm so excited about this summer is I am going on a couple church history trips. TJ's coming with me for
Mhm.
one of
She's
them.
most excited for that one.
Yeah, I'm most
Yeah,
excited for that one, for real.
It's gonna be so fun.
But I really am so excited. I think there's something really beautiful about experiencing lessons in a new and unique place, getting out of your ordinary day and learning and discovering things about Jesus and discovering things about your roots and who you are and the church that you're a part of and these stories in the actual place that changes everything. I went last summer on a church history trip, and I'm not kidding you, it changed my entire life. Like, it was one of my best memories of the year. And so I'm going on two this summer, and I can't wait. So me and TJ are doing one, and it is for high schoolers, seniors, just like right, like before you go on your mission, whatever. Me and TJ will go. It's going to be so fun. We can't wait. And then I'm doing another one that is like families. Anyone can come. Families, grandparents, aunts, uncles, college, roommates, whoever wants to come. It's an
That's
open
actually
invite.
good to know because I know someone who wants that too, and I didn't know. So.
Yep, so they can
Solid.
come. So it's through High Five Live Tours. If you have questions, DM us, or just honestly search them on Instagram and DM them, and they will help you. But through High Five Live Tours, come on a trip with us. We can't wait to do a little summer vacation.
Yeah,
Me and
it's
TJ
gonna
will be
nice.
going as like teachers. So like we'll go teach you all the places, but also just to hang out and to chat and to be friends and to bond and to have the best time together ever.
Yeah, and it's such a great time during our year focused on Doctrine and Covenants and church history. So it's gonna be sick.
Can't wait. Welcome to This is Kingdom, a Good News Brand podcast. This is Grace.
This is Talon.
This is TJ.
And this is Hollis. And this week we are going over the talk Focus on Jesus Christ and His Gospel by Elder Egbo.
And we've been talking a lot about this talk, actually.
A lot.
A
And-
lot.
There's certain things that I think we hear a lot. And because we hear those things a lot, we might start to zone them out, or we might start to think, yeah, I know that. I've got that. And I think our biggest hope from today's episode is what we talk about, that it can be something that you don't just hear, but you figure out a way to better live. Because that's how all of these talks are. They will help your life when you live them. Not when you just read them, not when you just hear them, not just when you think about them. Those things are all good. They're the first step, but they'll change your life when you live them. So if at the end this helps you live this a little bit better, then that's a victory, y'all. This is what he's talking about. I mean, he says it in the name of the talk, focus on Jesus Christ and His gospel. He shares the President Nelson quote that I know you've heard: when the focus of our lives is on Jesus Christ and His gospel, we can feel joy regardless of what is happening or not happening in our lives. And he goes off, he gives such a beautiful talk. Go read it, because there's so many good examples of people that have done that. And we just want to take some time to share times that we've done that can help you figure out how to do that in your life.
A while ago, I became a journaler because of Hollis. Hollis made me become a journaler. And now I'm almost at 500 days in a
That's
row
crazy.
of journaling.
Huge.
No, I'm
Wow.
so
I have
excited.
a
I'm
big
really
smile
proud.
now.
That's one of my
That happens
biggest
so
accomplishments.
fast. That's
No,
crazy.
I know.
Year
I'm
and a
really
half.
proud.
Dang.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a lot for
flew.
me. I've never had a consistent habit like that. That's really huge for me. Anyways, most of the time, especially after like 500 days, most of the days just blend together. Like, I have no idea what I wrote on 99% of the days. But there was one day that is ingrained in my mind. Like, I have a clear memory of writing the journal entry. Like, I remember where I was. I remember what was happening as I wrote it. And I won't lie, it was truly one of the worst days of my entire life. Like, it started off like on a good note, and then everything went wrong. And I remember like all day just thinking, this has got to be the worst day of my life. Like, over and over and over. That's all I could think in my head. And I got home and I like opened up my journal app, and I was just ready to rant. And I was going to go off about everything that made me mad, all the reasons my day was terrible, why my life was so hard. And I started writing, and I was getting so angry. Like, I was like, it was so angry when I was writing. And then finally I was just like, this isn't healthy for me. Like, I can't go to sleep after just like having this much anger in my heart. Like, I was like, I don't know what to do. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to restart my journal entry. And I like selected all, and I deleted everything. And instead, for my journal entry, I just said this. So today, instead of writing any notable parts or being honest about my feelings, I'm going to write what I'm thankful for, because I need that more. And then I just make the dumbest list you've ever heard of in your life. Like when I look back at it, I'm like, this is so funny that this is like what I thought was good. Like it is like silly things like for classes that I love. And when my coworker comes in to talk about all like the drama in his life that with like who he's dating and we laugh and laugh. And when I go sit in the secretary's office and it's warm. And like this, I wore a really cute outfit today. Something really different than what I normally wear. A cute boy followed me on Instagram. We went to Texas Roadhouse. I had a million raspberry lemonades at Texas Roadhouse. Like the dumbest things you've ever heard of in your entire life. Like truly, they're not serious. But I remember finishing and I add it all up and I like there's not that many, probably like 15 things. But I remember when I finished, I was like, oh, today was good. And I legit laughed out loud because I was like, today was not good. But what changed was how I saw it. And I stopped and I was like, you know what? That didn't change the bad things that happened in my day. That did not take away all of the bad things and all the anger and all the things that I was so like upset about. All of those things still did happen. But what did change was my focus. And the second I started looking at the good things that happened, I think is the second that my mind started to refocus on Jesus. And I think that's what it looks like to focus on Jesus. Jesus brings every good thing comes from Jesus. And if that's what you're looking at, that is focusing on him in your everyday. And that doesn't mean bad things won't happen, obviously, but I think it does change your day.
I love that because Grace said it really well. When those things happen and you're trying to focus on Jesus and you're trying to be happy, doesn't mean forgetting the bad things, doesn't mean taking away the bad things from the experience, but reminds you why the bad things are worth it. It reminds you why we have those bad things and why we have a reason to hope. There was a time a couple of years ago that me and my friends were driving down to Las Vegas, actually, but going down to St. George first. And we're going to go for the Bruno Mars concert in Vegas, okay? Best artist in the world. I will fight anyone who doesn't agree with me. Grace is laughing right now because she doesn't agree with me, and
Well,
that's
I'll
okay.
fight you after.
Not the time.
We'll save it till after.
Not the time.
And we were going down to St. George, and it was cold. I think it was November or December, and we're driving down. And as I'm driving this Mazda, okay? And the tire goes crazy, and there's like fire that starts coming from it, and my friend
Whoa.
can see it from the thing, and there's like, oh, it's just literally fire coming from your tire right now. I'm like, you're lying. So I pull over, it's flat, the tire is gone, and once we get out of the car to try to change it, the most crazy, intense, piercing wind on our skin. None of us brought our coats because we are dumb, and we were there trying to change this tire on the side of the freeway. The weather was so terrible. And I remember being there and being like, this is not very fortunate for us at all right now. We have somewhere to go to. We have a plan, and we're stuck in the middle of, I think it was called Parawan. It was Parawan. And I'm like, this is so bad. But I remember all of us just laughing at ourselves and all of us just laughing at each other, most importantly. And I remember we had to pull over in Parawan at a random
Shout out
hotel.
to all our people in Parawan.
Yeah.
What a great place.
And we're being there, and all of us look at each other because we had to go to this like random store, get this random tire from this random person that we also laughed at, took a video with, and it was just so funny. And I remember we looked at each other in our hotel room that night and couldn't help just be so grateful for each other and grateful for that experience. And I'm thinking about even something as little as that. Those are the experiences that are most memorable. Those are the experiences that have the most impact because they're the ones where you're bonded. I think there's a reason why we go on missions or go on these experiences and we bond together with these people so much because you have to go through something hard together. And realizing that, being like, whoa, it wasn't because those things didn't happen, but because they did, and we chose to focus on each other and why we're able to overcome that together, it made it all worth it.
Yeah, I can't think of this topic without thinking about our boy Oliver, man. I mean, Oliver Cowdery. I don't know why, but I used to think he was like a grandpa, like helping Joseph. You know, I a little slow on my church history, like trying to catch up on it. But like, he was a year younger than Joseph, right? And he's getting ready to help him and to be his scribe. And he probably has so many fears and concerns, right? Because he leaves everything and he goes to help, and all of a sudden he learns he can't even see the goal place yet right now. And he probably has all the, feeling inadequate and all these things that he could focus on. And it's interesting because he starts to focus on these things, right? And sorry, I'm having intrusive thoughts. But then you think of Peter too, right? Like Peter's like getting kind of pumped. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go do this thing. I'm gonna walk on the water. I'm gonna walk to Jesus. And then he starts having these other distractions he's focused on, right? But I love that in Doctrine and Covenants section 6, we have the voice of Jesus Christ. It's not just a prophet. It's not just some scripture story. It's Jesus Christ saying, look unto me in every thought. Doubt not, fear not. And that part's amazing. I love that Jesus wants us to look to him and focus to him. But I even love the next verse better because it even goes so much deeper. He says, behold the wounds which pierced my side, and also the prints of the nails in my hands and feet. I love that Jesus is not just saying, look unto me, but he's saying, look unto me in everything that I've done for you, my sacrifice for you, the atonement that I've created for you, my resurrection. And I think when we can just slow down, right, take a step back and focus on Jesus, and not just focus on Jesus, but focus on that work that he's put in for us and his atonement and his sacrifice, that's when we can, that's when we get pulled out of the water. That's when we get that confidence and we just start writing. And I think that's where, I don't know, that's where I want to get to a little bit quicker, focusing on him.
Man, this is good. This is a good episode for me, honestly, because I really do like my life right now. I really like my life, but I feel like there's just a lot right now. I kind of talked with Hollis a little bit about this, like just a lot of things that I want to do and I want to do well and I want to show up for and I want to give my best to. And it's felt heavy and it's felt stressful. And this whole time we've been talking, I just keep thinking of the apostles on the boat. And you mentioned Peter, right? I just think of all the apostles on the boat with all the waves going. And I just think if Jesus were to talk to us with the waves going in our life, like he would just want to say a similar thing that he said to them of, you don't need to stress about the waves. I can conquer the waves. I can slow them down. And it's a reminder for me, like, yeah, it's kind of crazy right now. Yeah, there's a lot going on, but remember who you're with. And just thinking that it fills me with covenant confidence. I'm walking with Jesus. Yeah, certain things aren't going the way I want to. There's certain things that I want to happen faster. I feel like I've been getting impatient a lot because I want certain things to be done or to happen that haven't yet. But I'm walking with Jesus. And this whole episode is reminding me, because of that, I can have confidence in whatever it is. I don't need to spend my life stressing, which so often I think I do. I waste way too much mind space on spacing. And I think Jesus would just want us to know you don't have to spend that much time stressing.
That's so crazy because that's the exact story I was thinking about this entire episode. And all I could think about is those were fishermen on the boat. They were in a storm. And if a fisherman is stressed on a boat storm, then everyone else on earth should be terrified because they have been through little storms. Like they know what is a severe storm and what is not a severe storm. So if they're stressed, it wasn't a like small little storm. It wasn't a few waves. It wasn't like a little bit of wind. Obviously, it was a big deal. And of course, if they're stressed about it, that means like, okay, there's a lot going on, but like they had reason to be. Things were really getting messy. Things were really getting scary. Things were not going the way they anticipated. And I think it's just something so beautiful. My friend David always talks about this, but he talks about how Jesus was asleep during that whole entire thing. And David always talks about how Jesus wasn't asleep because he didn't care. Jesus was asleep because he wasn't intimidated by the storm. And those fishermen were terrified for their lives, but they forgot who was on board with them. And the second they woke Jesus up, Jesus took care of the problem. He said, no, I actually can fix this. This is not out of my league. You forgot who's on board with you. And I think that's the difference. That's why focusing on Jesus works. It's not because you're just focusing on something other than the problems. It's because you are focusing on someone who is not intimidated by what the world is throwing at you. You are focusing on someone who calms even the wildest of storms. You are focusing on someone who is stronger than the battles that you're facing in mortality. He already conquered them. That's why you need to focus on Jesus.
He lives, all glory to his name. He lives, my Savior, still the same. Oh, sweet the joy this sentence gives. I know that my Redeemer lives. He lives, all glory to his name. He lives, my Savior still the same. Oh, sweet the joy this sentence gives. I know then my Redeemer lives.
See you next week.